Hello, this is someone guy in Hawaii with an expanded spreadsheet for tracking our hunt progress. Now, in order to get official credit for drops, hunt drops, you first need to register on the website. Here you can see I've already done so. When the hunt starts, there will be a separate page where we can claim all our drops by linking video clips of the item dropping and its item card. That's right here. Um, Basically, there'll be a link over here where you click on and put your links. Okay, and you can also keep track of your score up here. But using this to track our progress is really unwieldy. I really recommend, highly recommend using the downloadable spreadsheet and checking off your progress as you go. Basically, you can copy it to your drive or you can download it. Okay, you can use that, or you can use this. Okay, this is my spreadsheet, which is like the official one, but kind of on steroids. It's linked in the description below. This is an Excel spreadsheet. I do not know how well some of the functions I've set up will convert to Google Docs or any other spreadsheet program, so keep that in mind. So how is this one different from the official one? Well, on the official one, zoomed in, organizes items into groups based on rarity and source. All the vanilla non-legendaries are together. There are no non-legendary uniques from DLCs. The base game vanilla legendaries are next, followed by the seasonal event drops, then the DLCs, then finally the takedowns, and then mayhem locked items. Okay. Within each group, items are sorted alphabetically. The specific source of each item and the enemy to be defeated is all in one column. Okay. Point value is to the right. We can sort on these if desired, but only if these two columns, only on these two columns. Okay. Now, this spreadsheet is a little different. In particular, I've got separate columns for a whole bunch of things. Okay, everything's are separate out. This is your point value here. Here's the name of the item, type, rarity, mayhem locked or not. This is the name of the source. This is a map it appears on. This is the type of mission. This is a location code. There's two location codes and a possible second source. The mayhem is kind of self-explanatory. The idea is if something is mayhem locked, there's an M or an M4 or an M6. Basically, M stuff is stuff that only shows up, as far as I can tell, when things, when you're in mayhem mode. Hence, you have the two shiv drops I talked about in the last video, as well as these guys. If there's more, let me know. All of these are mayhem locked. Hence, they're at the bottom here, because you're going to want to do those last. Everything else is M0. Okay. The other important thing here is this location code. Now, what this location code does is it basically assigns a number based on where the item appears within the content when you go through the regular story. Okay, so all this stuff on the droughts is first, then the Ascension Bluff stuff, then Sanctuary, Meridian Outskirts, Skirts, Electricity, etc. Okay, so this corresponds to this. In some places, it gets more detailed. Like here's Athena's, and you can see Chupacabra appears before the Private Bean stuff. Specifically because you have to do the invasion of privacy thing before you go back and do that. Okay, I haven't put that on here. There are a couple of other ones. Let me see. Sometimes I go into more detail, some I don't, like right here. Okay. The Grogans are 10.2 because they're easy to get to right away. It's target of opportunity. You got to go to Skybill a little further along, and then the Warden's at the end. Sometimes it's detailed, sometimes it's not. But the idea is that everything is arranged within a map, and all the maps that show up first come first, and the later maps show up later. Okay, and that's true for everything in the main game until you get down to right about here. Not right there, right there. Okay, this all over here is, all of this right here is your takedowns. Then we got the 100 series here on the code are Handsome Jockbat, DLC 1. 200 series is Guns, Love, and Tentacles. 300 series is Bounty of Blood. 400 is Krieg DLC. Everything in 500 is Arms Race. Team of Horus and all of the Ava mysteries are 600. And then 1000 is the 3 events. Then you have the Mayhem stuff. Okay, the Mayhem stuff, actually, the locations are correct. But of course, because I sorted on this first, these all appear at the bottom. So the idea is that as you're running through this stuff, you can see where stuff is within the story, depending on how far you've gotten. But if you also, once you get to Sanctuary, if you want to switch over to the DLC stuff, here's all the DLC stuff. Okay, there's one DLC, there's another, etc. Okay, now you can sort on any one of these columns if you want. If you want to just look at everything alphabetically based on the item, you sort that. You sort there. Okay, and that this will match up roughly, not exactly with the official list because of course I don't break things out in terms of mayhem and whatnot. Let me undo that. Okay, if you want to do it that way to find something, you can do that. By the way, I ignore initial articles, so things like the duck is duck, the Garcia, etc. I don't put the THE out first. You can do it by actual source. This is actually going to be very useful because what you want to do a lot of times is if you run across somebody like, let's say, what's a good one? The power troopers, okay? When you run across the power troopers, you're going to want to farm them and farm everything from them and then move on. You don't want to basically get a couple of these items and then have to come back later. So this way you can make sure you check them all off before you move on to someone else, okay? You can do that, okay? Maybe you want to see everything in a map, regardless of where it is. Okay, you can do it that way. Here's all the Amber Mine stuff, Anvil stuff, Ascension Bluff, etc. So you can sort that way. Okay, this is what I normally set things up on. Okay, so the spreadsheet can be very useful from that standpoint. Additionally, I've got a couple items in here. Notice there are a couple items on here. Notice that have these beige highlights. These are all world drops, respective world drops. What this means is that these three right here, Rocket Boots, Launch Punt, and Roman's Call, if you read the rules, because they drop from Slaughter 3000 and the two bosses in Slaughter 3000, you know what, I lost their names. I need to put them here. One of them is Red Rain and one is Blue Fire. They have a tendency to throw their gear out of bounds. The rules allow you to basically grab them anywhere in the game. Okay, you don't have to actually get it from them. Same thing with the 4 class mods in the Handsome Jackpot DLC. You don't have to get it from Jackpot. Anywhere they drop in the DLC is fine. And then of course Arms Race is the same way. Arms Race, you don't have to get anything from Harker or from a chest. Any Arms Race exclusive that drops in Arms Race is good to go. The other thing you might want to use this for is you will notice here that these are the takedown exclusives. These are non-mayhem locked takedown exclusives. That means you have to be at endgame. You have to go to the takedowns to get these. But you notice these are not mayhem locked, so you can get these in regular mode, okay, in non-mayhem. It's fine because you want to hold off going to mayhem until you absolutely have to. And then if you go all the way to the bottom here, these are mayhem locked, but the takedowns are a secondary source. Okay, you can also get them from going to these folks. Okay, so you don't have to fight through the takedown if you don't want to on Mayhem. You can go to Mayhem 11, get good gear, and then come back and hit the appropriate Mayhem level and farm these folks, which tend to be a lot faster and easier. I didn't mention the second source. The second source is for stuff where there is a second source for something. Okay. Here's one right here. Private Beans. You can get the Wester gun from Private Beans, but you can also get it in the Ambermire from King Nasher. Okay, that kind of stuff. The other thing you might want to look at is that the way I have this set up is that when I find something, I'm going to basically say, okay, I got the infiltrator. I'm just going to type in the number right here. This number I'm going to type right here. This is how many points there were. When I do that and hit enter, it automatically is claimed up here, added up, and this turns green. So you know you got it. Okay. At a glance, you can say, okay, I already got that. And then if I want to get this guy, say we got the hail, because we went and tipped the Moxie, same thing. Okay, now we have 2 items for a total score of 3. So you can use this to double check your score on the main page of the website to make sure things match up. And if they don't, well, then you can investigate it. I'm gonna get rid of these though. Everything in the spreadsheet, content-wise, is locked, but it's not password locked. So if you want to, so you can't change any of this unless you unlock it, which is part of the data, I believe it is. It's in view, yeah, protect or unprotected sheet. Okay, so the only thing that normally changes in here, so you can't accidentally mess something up. And then I would use this, you sort what you want and then go back and resort it when you're done to use this setup. But that's kind of up to you. That's how it's set up. If you want to use it, knock yourself out. I am going to try to make updates to it if I spot any mistakes, or I already spotted one there where I got to add the name of the folks who drop stuff in Slaughter Star 3000. But yeah, there it is. If you like this kind of content, leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe. You can also check me out twitchtv.com/StomachOnHawaii. I stream at least 3 times a week, Borderlands and other stuff. And as always, stay safe and thanks for watching.